Hello, welcome my bald bearded friends. In today's video we have Fragrance World Kopi Collection. And this is Kopi Luwak. This is a very interesting fragrance for its a coffee fragrance, but of the special Indonesian coffee of Kopi Luwak. And it's a beautiful box. Also the bottle is real nice, but let's spray a little bit on and let's talk about it. For I have some very interesting, I think it is interesting, memories of this fragrance, or rather of Kopi Luwak. The opening is a pretty heavy coffee opening, and it brings me back to two separate memories. One in Indonesia and one in the Netherlands in the Pasar Malam Besar, the big Indonesian evening market they have multiple times a year here, most of the time in The Hague. That's the biggest one, but throughout all of the Netherlands we have Pasar Malam Besar, big evening markets, Indonesian evening markets. It has a woody coffee notes that just smells in the opening like Kopi Luwak tastes. The first memory it evokes in me is, I saw a stall in a Pasar Malam Besar, and there they sold Kopi Luwak. But it's very expensive coffee, so a cup costs 10 euros, something like that. And I was a broke teenager, and I was very interested, but didn't want, thought it was way too expensive. So the dude behind the counter gave me one cup for free, and it really smells like it tastes. The other one, and I will see if I can find any photos of it. It's been, I think, 13 years ago by now. But I actually went with my Indonesian grandfather and my grandmother, my uncle and my sister to Indonesia, and we went to a Luwak coffee farm, where they really make the Kopi Luwak. And it's a pretty interesting concept for the Kopi of the Luwak, the civet cat, only eats the best of coffee berries, and they defecate the seeds, the beans of the coffee, and that's ultimately where they make the only the best berries, only the best coffee beans, and that's ultimately where they make the Kopi Luwak, the Luwak coffee of. So that's how you get the best coffee, by the shit of the Luwak. That's how it smells. So it starts off with a real nice coffee opening, a bit woody, heavy coffee. And later on it dries down to a bit of a boozy vibe. To my nose at least, it becomes that boozy that it reminds me of Fragrance World Irish coffee, another one in this line of fragrances, and even a Bentley for Men. Really like this. Alright, the notes as stated on Fragrantica are coffee in the top, mid notes of rose, and base notes of agarwood, oud, and patchouli. You definitely get a lot of rose in this fragrance. If you really dislike the scent of the rose note, this is not for you. Of course, also if you don't like coffee, but coffee, agar and oud really provide a deep dark scent profile in the base. It really darkens up this fragrance which fits really well with the coffee. For of course, coffee most of the time also has a bit of a darker tone, you know, the burnt coffee bean vibe, if you will. In the same respect, patchouli can give, of course, a really chocolatey vibe to a fragrance, as does coffee. You know, some coffee beans have a pretty chocolatey undertone in it, so it really comes down to a heavy, dark, chocolatey vibe, and you really have to love your bit of a heavier coffee, chocolatey kind of fragrances. Longevity of this fragrance is actually quite good, I would say around 8-9 hours, perhaps 10, with a pretty nice sillage. However, it's not a room filler, so I would say 1 foot till, you know, 2 feet is really the max of this fragrance. It's not an Versace Eros kind of room filler fragrance. The positives of this fragrance are that it's a really nice, heavy, punchy, pungent coffee fragrance. It has some really nice animalic aspects, as well as a real nice woody vibe in this fragrance. Really the color says it all in this case. A bit of a dark caramel fragrance. It's not too sweet, it has some sweetness as some oud notes give, but it really gives a dark, settled vibe to it. The negatives of this fragrance are actually that it isn't that mass pleasing. Perhaps more in the Middle Eastern settings where they're more used to the oud notes, this will be more mass pleasing. But in my country, the Netherlands, I see that these notes are not that much smelled right here. So in my opinion, what I see is that people don't really know what to do with it, and then it smells dark, dampy coffee. Another negative of this fragrance is that, a bit in the same respects, but that for some it may be too much. You know, if you really like the blue fragrances, this one is juxtaposed opposite of a blue fragrance. And definitely, if you start off with coffee fragrances, you know, start off with something like Halloween Man X, and you know, a little bit lighter, a little bit more mass pleasing, and because this one is just way too heavy, I guess, to start off with. On the other hand, if you really like coffee fragrances, this really is the line you should be interested in, the coffee collection line of Fragrance World. For they have, I believe, 5 coffee fragrances, and so far I'm quite impressed. In the future, I will review some more fragrances out of this line, the coffee collection line. But, yeah, Kopi Luwak definitely is really nice. So, what do you think about this fragrance? Have you tried it? Have you ever tried Kopi Luwak? Are you interested in it? Let me know. Have a nice day. Ciao.